This is probably when I should be playing some really cool intro music, huh? Well, I'm not a musician and I don't have any rights to any music, so just enjoy the scenery. Getting better with that drone though, huh? Step by step. I totaled my first one. Ran it up against an FJ44 at about 50. FJ1. Good morning, my friends. I hope you are all well. And by well, I mean better than me. I'm still dragging butt, man. This cold or whatever it is going around, it's just killing me. But anyway, the show must go on. So here we are in an FJ62. This video is for my brand TLC, not for my Icon brand. TLC is the largest and oldest restorer of vintage Toyota Land Cruisers in America. And dare I say, the pickiest and... all right, I'll say it. I think we're the best. All right, moving on. Enough self-congratulatory efforts. So let's first do a little overview of this model. So the FJ62 was available in America from 1988 until 1990. Although some people were not a fan of the quad headlight design that replaced the circular headlight design found on the previous FJ60 model, which was available from 81 to 87, the truck was a really great combination of upgrades. I think it's the best. You know, let's say the 2F motor in the FJ60, basically the same thing that was in the FJ40s going way back. It's a great motor, but it's carbureted, and let's face it, carburetors suck. They always will, and they always have. Also, you had mated intake and exhaust manifold, so if you weren't chasing an exhaust leak, you were certainly chasing an intake leak, and that just gets old over time. The other thing is the emissions equipment. Every year the laws would change, and every year Toyota would put another Band-Aid on that somewhat archaic system to comply with the emissions laws. When it came to the 6.2, they already knew what they had to do, and they designed the truck to comply with those laws. The result being a lot less peripheral emissions parts, therefore a lot less maintenance. So if I look at my customer service files at TLC and I look at an FJ60 client versus an FJ62 client, both local, both been with us the same amount of time, an FJ60 file might be that thick and an FJ62 file might be that thick. So I think that's a telling sign. The 4-liter 3F motor replaced the outgoing 4.2 liter 2F, but it had a shorter stroke, slightly more horsepower and torque. And man, if Toyota had only put an H55 5-speed behind that, you would realize that added power. Unfortunately, they put an automatic behind it, which gobbled up all that power and maybe then some. So the only complaint people have traditionally had with the 6.2 is power. There's slugs. Now, they're very reliable. They will always get you there on time, but slowly. So we like to fix that. This is probably our favorite model to put our General Motors LS or Vortec generation aluminum fuel-injected V8s in, because it adds so much to a great vehicle already, but less maintenance, greater fuel efficiency, and tremendously more power. I mean, we're talking about probably triple the horsepower and almost double the torque, and it's lighter. So you can't go wrong with that. Purists be damned. This particular truck is a really good example of the kind of modifications we like to do to these trucks. So I don't know if there's going to be enough time in this video to cover them all, but I'm certainly going to deserve an A for effort. So let's start with the powertrain. We are now running a 5.3 aluminum Vortec V8 with the 4L65E automatic, mated to the super burly and up for the task stock split case 19 spline transfer case. When we do these conversions, we're not the cheapest, but we're the best, and it's very comprehensive. So the entire cooling system, charging system, ignition system, exhaust system, gauge interface are all brand new. The transfer case and the original drive shafts both get thoroughly rebuilt, and those shafts get balanced. Additional upgrades to the truck include the Old Man Emu suspension system, which is really nice. It's kind of needed with the V8 to fit it properly. Creates about a 2-inch lift, but adds a lot more comfort and stability to the suspension. Even though your CG is higher, it's better than the stock suspension, which literally the leaf springs when brand new were pretty much flat. So you had no up travel and the dynamics were kind of screwy. Let me think what else. We have a dual Optima battery system with a very nice isolator system and auto sync to the opposite battery when needed. We have a Prodigy trailer electric system hooked up to a Class 2 hitch. We have an InPower brand power management notification system. We have a good CB system by Cobra. We have Alpine Audio with Alpine Audio with Alpine high-end speaker upgrades with amp and bass. We have all sorts of auxiliary LED lighting abound. We have extensive Dynamat lining the roof, the quarters, the doors, and the tailgate, resulting in a pronounced, more refined and quiet interior and a lot less rattles. We have the rare Australian Land Cruiser factory rear view mirrors, which sadly you can't get anymore. We have the original headliner, original dash pad, original steering wheel, all in A1 condition. And then the seating and door panels have all been restored and upgraded. So the front seats are from a BMW 3 Series. They're super comfortable, way better ergonomics, longer floor track, so you can fit a wider range of body types. There's also a cool thing, so you see how I just bumped back? There's a third option on this where you can recline down the seat base bottom, and then you can pump the bugger back up and bring it up to a more upright position. So not only on-road is that nice for a range of different body styles, but off-road it's killer because you can have, say, I don't know, whatever, you're cruising, you put it in the low back. When you're off-road and you're rock crawling, then you can adjust it to the high up mode and you get much better visibility, so that's really helpful. Other mods on the exterior include a worn winch and an ARB front bumper, and in the rear, also sadly no longer available, the wonderful Kmart dual pivot carrier system out of Australia. So that's a full bumper system, and it puts the carriers on the bumper, therefore to the chassis, not to the body where they suck and they wag and they make all sorts of hideous noises. We have BF Goodrich 33-inch mud terrains on American Racing ATX Teflon coated wheels. Should make a note there, I personally do not like these tires unless your usage requires them. I'd get rid of them and go to the all-terrains, or at least the newer version of the muds, which are much quieter. But these at freeway speeds kind of make more noise than I'd like them to, but for each their own. A lot of people really dig them. We also, of course, have Bluetooth tied to that Alpine single den head unit. We have a nicely designed full bank of indicator lights and switches for all the aux equipment. Factory power antenna works great. What is this thingy? It says cell port on the dash, and it unscrews for what looks like a coaxial antenna. I don't know what the hell that is. Maybe you guys do. If you're curious, I can research it with the owner. So when we went through this truck, not only did we do the conversion, but we did a full stage 1 mechanical comb through of all of the remaining stock mechanical systems. So the front and rear axles were completely overhauled, Burfield seals, carrier bearings, knuckle bearings, blah, 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 everything, even the third members. While we were in there, we upgraded to the ARB locking differentials in both the front and rear axles. Those have a dedicated air compressor under hood. We have, from the dual battery system, we have a tow truck style quick connect integrated in that front bumper for jumper cables or whatever other utilities you want to create for that. And the body is original paint, and yeah, there's bumps and bruises here and there, but it's far from needing a paint job. It's excellent. Zero rust ever, super sanitary body. So while the exterior trim is in excellent condition and all original. We actually did all of the before mentioned work in the year 2006 when the vehicle had 233,000 miles on it. It only has 248,000 and change now, and all of this work has proven to be very reliable. There's been no service work other than oil changes and brake pads ever since. We also have the special ordered Arb Roof Rack. That's the monster big one, 86 by 49. It was special ordered with the mesh floor, which adds a lot more utility because now you can walk upon it versus the open tubular style, which kind of has its limitations. We have the wagon gear quarter panel system and tailgate storage, which is really nice. As you can see, it gives you added storage in what was otherwise areas that were not capitalized upon. We have the Slee rock sliders from our friend Christo Slee, makes really nice products for these trucks. Oh, and I forgot, you know what? That dash pad and steering wheel, the reason they're in such nice shape is they were brand new when we built the truck. Those Mojave wheels are 17s, not 16s, so that works out nice. We have the Tuffy center console. The upholstery that I mentioned is all done in Chilowich and upgraded marine vinyl, not the stock stuff, so that'll last longer. That's really nice. And instead of going with the light gray, we went with, I don't know, I guess it's black. It's not really argent, it's pretty much pure black. We also upgraded the headlights to the Hella H4 conversion. All that service work, albeit minimal, that's been done since we built the truck has always been done by the crew at TLC who built the truck. Oh, Line-X floors completely. Marine rated carpet, and it's a dense pile cut loop so it doesn't rip and run like the stock did. Underneath that is some high-tech extreme liner for insulation, and then heavy-duty rubber floor mats in the front and rear cargo area, and a nice dog cushion to protect the upholstery on the rear seat. And then in the back, in the video, we'll go through those items in detail. Quite frankly, I've yet to do so, but I think we have the super nice powered Arb fridge, a custom car cover, and something in a big bin that I will cover in more detail with subtitles as we go through the video. So there you go. That's this truck. You want to see stills and more details, please see the full listing at tlc4x4.com. Any questions, call us old school, 818-280-3330. My name's Jonathan Ward. You can follow me on Facebook, and that's all I got. Have a good day. See ya.